The harvest kickoff and the end of the age. The harvest kickoff and the end of the age. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 10. Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye be come into the land which I give unto you, and shall reap the harvest thereof, then you shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest, and he shall wave the sheaf before the Lord to be accepted. Notice God said a sheaf of the first fruits. It's not the first fruits barley harvest that begins the harvest of the ingathering. It's the sheaf that comes out of the first fruits. The high priest would take an omer of barley and wave it, or heave it before the Lord as an offering, and this would begin the harvest. The first fruits barley harvest will be gathered in first, then the wheat harvest directly after the first fruits. The harvest of the wheat is a type of the end of the world, when the Lord will use great tribulation to separate the wheat from the chaff, and send forth the angels to remove the tares from among the wheat. Matthew 13, verse 30. Let both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of the harvest I will say to the reapers, Gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles, and burn them. But gather the wheat into my barn. The enemy that sold them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. Matthew 13:40. As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of this world. So what does the wave or the heave offering that comes out of the first fruits barley harvest represent? This is the bride of Christ that comes out of the church. This is like the kickoff of an NFL football game at the Super Bowl. Revelation 12, verse 5. And she brought forth a man-child, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up unto God and to his throne. The harvest cannot begin until the wave offering takes place. The bride must be caught up before the first fruits barley, the church, can be ingathered. 1 Thessalonians 4:17. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds, to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord. Also note that the barley harvest takes place in the springtime, and the wheat harvest takes place in the summer. So when John the Baptist said, who in Luke 13:17, whose fan is in his hand, and he will thoroughly purge his floor, and will gather the wheat into his garner, but the chaff he will burn up with unquenchable fire. He was speaking of the end of the age, after the bride and the church are gone.